A lot of tense exchanges we saw during Minister Sajjan's testimony today. Your thoughts, your take on what we heard from him, what was being asked here, as the Liberals are certainly on the hot seat once again.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, definitely some tense exchanges there. I think the opposition is trying to get this sense of a timeline and who knew what and when, were the right procedures followed, what is the accountability here. I think from the Liberal side, they don't necessarily want to be boxed into that conversation. You see the minister having a conversation around, listen, like, I'm not the right person to do this investigation. Mm-hmm. And so I think what's going to be really tough for the government is that regardless of what they can say around the timeline, around procedural accountability, there's obviously a major problem to be solved here. Mm-hmm. And so the political accountability won't go away, even if there are some procedural and, timeline-based answers.
Yeah, no, exactly. And all this, I mean, there's so many things that are going on. We've got this, you've got the pandemic. We know we're waiting at some point for there to be a budget to be presented. That then, of course, is going to lead to the election. And as you say, that there have been so many issues with regards to the situation in the military, where the government has been called to question to say something it needs to be done here. Based on what Minister Sajjan said, do you think his role in this puts at least that side of the story to rest? Or are there more questions? As you heard in that clip there, he was clearly saying, I was trying to remove myself from any conflict of interest here, but going through the right channels.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. And for me, I didn't see any kind of like revelation that we didn't know before. I didn't see any kind of fact come through that we said, okay, I understand now that we can check that off the list kind of thing.
Right.
Like nothing like that. And so I don't necessarily think that the government is any worse off by the testimony today, but I don't think that, to me, nothing has been moved in terms of fact-finding or getting a sense of closure on anything here.
So where do you think things need to go from here? As of course, the investigation is going to continue. But again, there's going to be the question again with regards to accountability and leadership.
That's it. I mean, they're facing huge questions about, what do you do when an organization needs to change? And particularly an organization like the military that has been self-governing, that has been in many ways kind of hived off and almost parallel to everything else, right? And so to try to get into, how to, like, if we change the leadership, what does that look like? If a leader wanted to change an organizational culture, you need allies to do that, even if you're a really strong leader. And so how does that work? And what is the political government's role in, getting involved in that organizational change in the military? I think what we have right now, frankly, is a lot of unanswered questions. And so I think there's going to be a lot of fog before there's any clarity.
Yeah, this is an absolutely huge, massive task at hand here. As you say, we'll be pulling away the layers slowly but surely.